Co-branding is interesting because you have potentially two brands that try to come together to deliver something that is greater than the sum of its parts. And a great example of that I like to talk about in my class when we're discussing issues of creating this co-branding kind of context and doing it the right way is an example that I'll show you now between two great brands. So when I show you this, people instantly kind of know what this is. This is sort of the iPod. It's kind of created the category of the MP3 players. Lots of other products out there. Zune, Microsoft has lots of competitors that are really struggling to try to capture the magic that has been the forte of Apple in creating this product. And so an interesting example of a co-branding example that I talk about a lot is the partnership between Nike and Apple. So this is a new product that has come out approximately about 2 or 3 years ago. And basically all it is a pedometer. So this is a pedometer that goes inside the Nike shoe. And so Nike produces a set of shoes that fit this pedometer. And what happens is you put the pedometer inside the shoe. It has a special pocket that is there that you place the pedometer in. And basically what you then do is connect your iPod Nano that will then talk to this pedometer. And so what happens then is, as a runner, you're able to actually control your music and also get particularly important statistics about your running. So for example, how many miles you've gone. There's also kind of an interesting feature where you can sort of ask for your favorite song that you really need when you want to push through that last quarter mile and you're feeling tired. And so it's a way to kind of communicate to your iPod, to the shoe, etc. Now what's interesting about this is the co-branding idea. So you have an iconic brand like Apple, you have an iconic brand like Nike. And you can think about the implications of what this would mean to try to bring these two brands together. There's nothing new about a pedometer. A pedometer is an old idea. And runners, hardcore runners, will be familiar with this kind of technology. There's lots of different brands of pedometers out there. Why is this special? Well, it's special because it is the melding of these two brand personalities, these two iconic brand personalities, Nike and Apple. So you have Nike, which is kind of the transcendence through sport, the athletic aspirations to try to perform better. You have Apple, which is kind of hip, fun, and cool. You put those two things together, produce an interesting product that has a functional benefit for you as a runner, but it also allows you now to communicate something that's interesting about yourself. And so what's interesting about this is that from Nike's point of view, they intend to sell more shoes because these are specialized shoes that hold the pedometer. And from Apple's point of view, well, people have iPods anyway and are using these iPods to work out, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a kind of interesting marriage between these two brands in that context. So the idea that's important in this notion is to think about when you're partnering up to do a co-branding sort of endeavor or business relationship, how do you assess the extent to which you can create that synergy between your brand and the other brand? How should you message about the new product that proportionately communicates the right thing about your brand and the co-brand? And so all these messaging issues become important in that context, and again tie into the idea that we talked about earlier with respect to new media. So one of the really cool things about this is that once you use this product, then you can go online and you can download your statistics to basically a social networking website of runners, and you can share your stats, you can motivate each other, you can talk about the product, talk about your favorite runs, et cetera, et cetera. So again, this is a great example of building that community and letting consumers own the brands, in this case the co-brand example, and creating that sort of social lubricant to facilitate this discussion about the brand and create further synergistic equity from the co-branding partnership. So I think that's kind of an interesting example of this idea in marketing.